See if that's working. Says we're live. Is there a preview? Oh, cool. All right. Oh, I wish that was on the other side. All right, how do I share this? And let me put myself in the other corner. Change that. View device capture. Settings. You'll be bigger. Let's put that there. Now I have no idea if I'm actually, guess I'm live? All right. Okay. I haven't done one of these in forever, so I don't actually know. Yeah, I'm not sure. Categorize top moments, capture moments as they happen, close, share. There we go. Let me tell everybody in Slack. Hey everyone. I am currently live on my YouTube channel, streaming some live coding if you want to check it out. All right. Where did that window go? Here it is. Okay. All right. Hey, Simon. If you can hear me, send a message because I have no idea. I'm going to be poking my head over there. All right. So, yeah, Simon, let me know if you can hear me because that would be cool because I don't know if I am broadcasting audio. Let's see, what was I doing in OBS? It looks like I'm sending audio, but I don't know. It's what is this saying? Current bit rate is lower than recommended. Well, how do I change that? Stream's current bit rate. Maybe that's in settings. Stream. I'm still trying to figure out how to set all this stuff up. Advanced. Yes, loud and clear. All right, cool. Is the video, is that fine? Let me know if that's cool or not. General output. Video bitrate, it said it wanted 9,500 or something. Let's do that. I don't know if I have the upload speed for that, though. That's the only thing. All right, looks like it's increasing it. There it goes. Okay. All right, hopefully that makes the visuals clear. I don't know how long that'll take. Yeah, it says you should use a stream rate of 95 kbps. All right, cool. All right. Can't see lines and unibody code. All right, are the lines of code clear? Because if I need to bump up the font size, I can totally do that. We'll be drinking smoothie while I do this. All right. Here's what I'm working on in this video right now. Let me comment this line out. So I've got ChordieApp. Not ChordieApp, I'm just doing this MIDI keyboard controller thing that I talked about in the last video. And what I am doing right now is making it opens all of the devices automatically. The other thing I have is that when I resize this, it changes this area in red is going to display all of the note names. And then basically I tried to make it so that when I resize this window, it's it kind of, all the proportions are maintained. So I took care of that. Now the thing I'm trying to get it to do is when I play notes on this MIDI keyboard, that's down here on my desk, right down here, that stuff is showing up in this thing because I'm redesigning all of the drawing from scratch. So that's what I'm working on right now, is basically looking at how I sent messages. Oh, cool! You're on your iPhone. You can see this, and you can read the text. That's pretty cool. All right, I'm looking at how did I send messages from the audio device manager into the piano roll container, which then went into the extended MIDI keyboard component. So that's what I'm currently working on, figuring out how that connection worked before. And then once I do that, it'll be, I should be able to play notes and see it appear on screen. And then I can do like the actual fancy note, the way the keys look, making that look fancy. All right, so I'm just going through what I had before. Let's see, this was over here in piano roll. All of this stuff, this is what I need to have make happen. And I did it with this MIDI message receiver class, and I'm trying to figure out why did I do that. And so I'm just looking at the base class implementation. What does this MIDI message receiver class do? Let's find out. So it's just got a bunch of virtual functions. Let's see, where is this stuff implemented? There's just a lot of stuff in here that I was like, you know, hindsight 2020. Okay, I'm just kind of helping myself out. These are all just debug messages. Okay. All right, I think I can borrow from all of that. Let's see, what namespace does this live in? There's a huge comment. I think I can borrow from Cat Music, MIDI message receiver. All right. Now I get to override all of these. So just kind of piggybacking on all of this stuff that I had before. Let me not override it actually for right now. Let's just get some messages coming in and sending to this class, which will then, let's see, then it'll just, I want to see those debug messages when I play notes here. That's what it'll do. So we need to give ourselves a MIDI event handler. And handler, give me an instance of the piano roll container, because that's who it's going to talk to. If you're there, send a message in the chat. Looks like it says I got 5 people watching. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Maybe you'll learn a little bit. Feel free to ask questions and I will answer them as I am responding. I'm not sure what the latency is. My clock says it's 11:55 and 48 seconds, but you'll have to tell me when, you know, maybe there's like a 10-second lag or something. All right, let's see. Let me go back down here. This is after the MIC. Hello, Toby AM. Appreciate you tuning in. Let's give myself one of these. Right there. And initialize that guy. All right, now we can give ourselves an instance in our top level. And you need the, what do you need? You need this. That's what you need. Okay, so if I run this, I should start getting, I'm not gonna get anything. I need to do this. This stuff needs to happen. All right, and goes there. This goes there. I had all of this stuff like dynamic for some reason, so that way I could, I guess it was like optional if I wanted to do that. Okay, this needs to be called MIDI event handler. I'm gonna change that name in a minute. Let's see what it does when I trigger some notes. I should see debug messages when I do this. There we go. Be sure to implement your MIDI message receiver handle node on. This is where you call. Perfect. All right, handle node on, handle node off. And if I trigger my sustain pedal, is that even coming in? Let's find out. It is. Okay. Why is this not? Why am I not seeing that? So there's bug number one. Why is this message not coming in? Message that is sustain message. Let's find out. All right, that happened. So why isn't this printing? Oh, that's why. All right, that makes sense. Okay. All right. So now we can implement what happens in these handle node on, handle node off. Okay. So a question that I have for myself is, why did I do it this way initially? Apparently I wanted all of the modules to have a consistent interface. I wanted all of the modules in ChordieApp, you know, piano roll, manuscript, note name, chord, guitar. I wanted them to all have this standard interface so that way I didn't forget to call any of these. I didn't forget when I was sending out the state to do this. And I'm thinking about it now that the way I should actually do it is with a listener pattern, and I just register with that. I'm currently not using a listener pattern, so maybe it would be a good idea to do that. So where is the right place to do that listener pattern? I think the right place to do that is in the MIDI message receiver class. So let's go to that, and let's see. So the question I have for myself is, okay, if I'm receiving MIDI messages, why do I have this thing which handles mouse messages? Do I want that to be part of this, or do I want that to be a separate thing? Well, apparently the way this is designed is so that I can say, when some event happens, call this function, say who called it, and determine that like some other event sent the message. Okay, well, here's the mouse event, and then here's the MIDI message that goes with that mouse event. So I had this whole crazy set of code thing, so that way when you actually mouse over a let's see, when you actually mouse over one of the module features, for example, if I run this, kind of talking through what's happening in the code at the same time. This project doesn't need to be open anymore. Run this real quick. All right, so when I mouse over this, it would say, all right, node name viewer is a different component. The chord name viewer is a different component. When this mouse event happens, it would say like, hey, you're mousing over this note. What's the note name and what's the key, and you know, what's the preferred name to use? And then it would send that to the module. Well, apparently I'm just sending the MIDI message, not the actual note name, so maybe I need to think about that. I should be sending the note name, not the MIDI message, but it could be an optimization for a later time, so we're just going to hold off on doing that. Let's see. All right, let's just make this thing display notes. We can, you know, make that stuff do what it's supposed to do later. Let's just turn on handle node on, handle node off, and now let's implement that stuff. Let's just implement this. We'll make it do listener code later. All right. What do we do when we receive a note on message? We do piano roll owner dot state dot process next MIDI event message. That's it. And then for this one, we do the same thing. All right. Let's see. In okay, if we're down, it's only gonna show white keys right now. If we're down, we're gonna use the key down color. If we're not down, we're gonna use the white note color. Let's see if that works. This should work. Set MIDI input. This is all a bunch of deprecation stuff. All right, if I play this note, what is happening? Why is it not responding? This is what happens when you deal with old code. Let's see. Here's our note on. All right, what does that do? That goes here. Yes, then it goes here. We don't need channel, we don't need note number, we don't need velocity. Note on internal, what do you do? All right, note states. Okay, listeners call. What is this doing? Do I not have a handle note on message? Am I not registered as a listener? I am not registered as a listener. Okay. So I forgot to do something here. I thought the MIDI keyboard component base already did that. Let's take a look at that. Let's see, piano roll. A lot of this is just going to be me hunting around, digging through the code base. Piano roll. No, I'm sorry. I want extended MIDI keyboard component. Let's go to this class. All right, you're a MIDI keyboard state listener. What about keyboard bass? Are you? No. All right, so I need to do that. Okay. Let's grab those overrides from here, since I'm right here. Draw a white note, not those. Why are these virtual? Called when a mouse click on a key. Interesting. There's a lot of rewrites they did to this. Okay, here we go. Handle note on. Handle note off. Okay. You know, I might be able to just continue to reuse a lot of this behavior. I might not need to use keyboard component base. I may be able to just do it straight from MIDI keyboard component. I'm trying to remember why I used it, but I can't remember why. Why did I use, is there something in this that I had to work around in extended MIDI keyboard component? Did I have to override the paint function? No. So maybe I don't need to do this from scratch. Well, all right, let's keep going. I'm going down this path. Maybe I'll learn something. We'll find out. Hopefully I see some people in my course that pop in, or the free course. That would be really cool. All right, so let's go back to this not extended MIDI keyboard component, juice MIDI keyboard component. Let's look for the handle note on. What do these do? All they do is update a flag. You know what? I think I can just borrow from this and just override these functions. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to punt on this. I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to get rid of this. And I'm going to change this to be a MIDI keyboard component. And we'll see if this makes my whole thing explode. All right. Extended MIDI keyboard component, where are you? You are. I think the annoying, okay, I think the reason I did this was because this MIDI keyboard state is private and I needed it in the extended MIDI keyboard class. Yeah, I needed my own reference, and the MIDI keyboard component class doesn't provide a getter or anything. Why is that saying these are final? How are those different than these ones? All right, you know what? I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. We'll put this back. We'll keep our own state. We'll do this thing. We'll change this back to a keyboard component base. We'll leave that the way that is. We'll do that. And let's see, let's add these handle node on, node off. I'm gonna borrow the same design of, where did my live stream video so I can see any comments? Where did that go? That's over here. I'm gonna borrow this same atomic approach that it uses. I think they just use a timer that just checks it, which makes, you know, that's kind of the default way we do everything. All right, void, let's see, let's paste these guys, grab this. Oops. Okay. We'll do no pending updates. Where does that get declared? We're just gonna borrow this. We're gonna borrow their idea. Atomic bool, no pending updates, true. I'm guessing this inherits from timer. There's some mechanism they use to continually check that. Yep, right there, private timer. I don't understand what's the point of making stuff. It doesn't matter to me if this is private or not. All right, let's get that timer going. What speed do they use? Let's go to that. Keyboard component. State.add listener this. All right, we also need our timer running. They do a 20 hertz timer. Okay, I guess that's fast enough. We'll find out. All right, let's see what's missing. Timer callback is missing. That's what's missing. Keyword component, timer callback. All right, if no pending updates, I always get confused by the atomic semantics for this because I never remember them. Let's see, where's this timer callback? If no, oh, it's exchange. Okay. All right, so they have all this code which only repaints certain things. Repaint rectangle for key, get the smallest integer container. I don't know if I like that, because I'm going to be doing a lot of like extra shadowy type stuff. Oops, that should be returned. You know, having to read all of this code is kind of I don't know if it's such a good idea, because the whole reason I'm inheriting from keyboard component base instead of MIDI keyboard component is because it didn't make sense for me to have two different state members. The one that's in the base class and then my own instance, because they hid it from the base class. So, I don't know. It seems like I'm doing a lot of work replicating a lot of functionality just to not have the same member variable in two different classes. And this is timer, so let's. All right, let's try that. Okay. Let's just see what that does. Oops, I forgot a couple things to do. My destructor. I need to add a destructor. First of all. All right, state.remove listener. This. All right, now if I play a note. Oh, let me get rid of that breakpoint. Okay, cool. Notes on are happening. It's not as instant as I would like, though. Man, that color is ugly. Alright, black keys don't do anything. Okay. Let's see. What should I do? What should I do? Well, the whole problem. Where was I? Make component.h. All right. The whole thing I'm trying to figure out is like the way that I'm drawing all the notes and the note names and stuff is really, really difficult to revise in the previous version. So I'm trying to figure out if I should change that. I'm trying to figure out what's the best way to make that revision if I do this. This is the old one. Should hide that. This is the old one. This is what I meant about like if I oh, there's a huge note name there. All right, now it's showing note names. Yeah, I was messing around with the positioning of this, and it's like, yeah, this is, yeah. All these changes are like, where do I, what caused the problem? How do I fix that problem? So I need to. I think what I can do is just continue. I think I can use the MIDI keyboard component as the base and get all of that fancy functionality and give myself my own state instance. It's not that expensive because that's a lot easier. I don't want to replicate it, you know. The only thing I really want to customize is like when I just want to customize like when I hold down a note with the sustain pedal, when I re-trigger that note, and then just the way the keys look, that's all I want to customize. I don't need to. There's still a little bit of latency on this one. Let's see if this is different. Let's line these guys up and see that response time. So they're kind of the same. All right, we'll leave that alone. I thought that maybe this, like the drawing approach I was using, was causing that latency, but that does not appear to be the case. All right, let's do the extended. Let's do the let's inherit from extend from MIDI keyboard component instead of keyboard component base. Let's commit what we got though. I made changes to the base. What happened here? What did I change here? Oh, re-enabled a debug message in MIDI message receiver. Stage commit. Started getting note on and off messages to display. All right, let's change this MIDI keyboard component. All right, what is this? Does this listen for that? No, it's just async updater. Okay, so we don't need this. We don't need this. We don't need this or this. And we don't need that. We just need that state. Extended MIDI keyboard component. Okay, what are you calling yourself then? Are you calling yourself draw white note? Not draw white key. Okay. All right, we don't need to do this. We don't need to do that. We don't need to do this. I don't even need this anymore. I'm sure I will later. All right. This argument list is changed. Let's change this name here. All right, I don't need this. Let's do draw a black note. Whoops. All right, we don't need timer callback. We don't need these. Let's get our code lined up. All these are juice classes. Juice, 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 and juice, juice, juice and juice. Okay. Oh. Yeah, I should pay more attention to what I'm writing. All right, why are you failing? Build failed. Why? Okay. All right, this is a MIDI keyboard component. All right, you need the state, and then you need this cool orientation. All right, that should do that. All right, I should get all of the same. Yes, all of this stuff still works. Okay, cool. So now I can customize the white note rendering. So draw a white note. What did I do before? Let's look at that. Not MIDI keyboard component. What was I doing here? This is where the fancy stuff needs to happen. All right, so if we are over, we're gonna do this thing. Else, if we're sustaining, well, we're not doing that yet. Otherwise, we're drawing a regular note on. And the regular note on is this. Whereas if we are over, actually, let's see. I can do this. Let's see. My color is actually going to be, if you are over, then you're going to be the find color. I can write this a different way. Auto C equals find color is over. If you're over, then you're going to look for the juice MIDI keyboard component color IDs. You're going to look for the mouse over color. Otherwise, you're going to use the white note color ID. Okay, let me do g.setColor, that color, and then we're going to do g.fillRect area. All right, that eliminates this entire is over chunk of code. Awesome. All right. So all that really changes is the sustain, is the color that gets used. So for this one, this is for if the notes are down. All right, if you are over, then we're going to use this thing. Now, down keys have different handling with the sustain stuff, so I'm not going to use that. C equals this. Otherwise, C equals the key down overlay. All right. This should give me mouse I can do the mouse event stuff. Yep. All right, cool. Man, that is an ugly color. All right, it only works for white keys. And I still have that stuff. All right, perfect. So let's commit that. White, let's do white keys respond to mouse event. Oh, mouse over event as well as events. This is, what did I do? EMKC inherits from MIDI instead of keyboard component base. All right. Stage. Okay, let's get those black keys working now. I'll do the same. If it's over, you'll do one thing. And where is that? I did that over here. I'll borrow what I did. If it's down, if it's over. Why am I setting the opacity right there? All right, let's clean all this up. We're gonna do basically the same thing. We're not doing sustain right now. We'll do that in a little bit. I don't know if I'll do that on this video. That's kind of proprietary. But maybe I could just get the regular white notes and black notes, the fancy graphics put in there. Okay. If you are over, let's see. I think I can just borrow all of this code. Yep. So I'm setting myself up for a real nice ease of being able to customize the drawing by doing it this way. It may look like I'm not doing very much, but I'm just making very slow changes. And then here's this other one. Okay. This should give me the black key functionality now. All right, something broke. Let's see, if you're over, you're gonna use this color and you're gonna fill that color. But you're doing key down. Oh, this needs to be black note. That's what it is. All right, cool. And there we go, black keys. And mousing over black keys. All right, cool. And why is that? That's why I did set this set opacity. Let's find out. Let's find out if that's the reason. That must mean that the this black note color, this mouse over key overlay color ID. All right, let's change that in the constructor real quick. Let's get rid of this. set color. The color ID, what is the color ID? This is the mouse over color ID. All right, and our color is going to be find color, this thing, with alpha 1. Do I want 1 or 0? I'm not sure. I think I want that. We'll find out. There we go. All right, cool. That takes care of mouse over. So interesting, you know, trying to figure out what's the right way, like, you know, changing the opacity of that color. What's the right way to do it? Is it by calling this set color thing in the constructor? Is it by using, you know, use this find color dot, you know, I could have put that, you know, with alpha. I could have done that here. What's the right way to do it? I could have also just not used this find color thing at all and just done, like, you know, some random colors. But my thinking is that I'm using find color because all of this stuff is already predefined in the juice thing. And then I've got this note fill color. And actually, let me see how this gets called. Find call hierarchy. I'm gonna have to wrap this stream up pretty soon. Let's see. Paint. Where does this happen? MIDI keyboard component draw. Find color black note ID. So it's basically the color that gets passed in is pulled from that find color thing. So the right way is it's a twofold question. If I am making use of note fill color, then I want to use set color. I want to use set color in the constructor and define it that way. If I'm not using fill color, then I can use this other stuff. All right, I'm gonna stop this here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a good day.